Hello, everybody. Are we still live? Every time I try to go live, I get a phone call or a text. Knocks me off live. I need your phone and your headset.
Yep.
So this is KATHRYN. She's going to be doing meds with the Dodo, and they have not joined us yet, but I wanted to make sure I could get this up in landscape mode, because that usually takes me a few times.
There you go.
Great, thank you.
Uh-huh. Do you need me to hold something? Will you get that situated?
I think I'm good here.
All right.
Hey, this is Carol. Hi, this is Amy with Addiction Specialist. There you have it live with KATHRYN.
Marketing. Great. Now, Seth, what are you doing?
I thought it would be Laszlo, but it was not.
No, you have to take the whole thing.
This is Seth. Why is Seth getting chicken?
Seth is getting tramadol for his ankle. We had sedated him previously to look at it, and it was swollen, and so he is getting pain meds for that.
This is Carol. Okay, we are live, and it's in landscape mode. This is Seth, but we're walking away from Seth. And we're headed over to TJ.
Come on, bud. You come have dinner? Come on, handsome. Come on.
TJ is a tiger that we rescued, I think, in 2007.
Yep.
Oh, here he comes.
Come on, handsome.
A place called Savage Kingdom. It was a tiger trainer that said that the way he would train the cats is chain them to the wall and beat them until they realized that they could not do anything about it, and then they were broken enough for him to be able to use them in his circus act. They're asking how old TJ is now. Do you know?
He is 18, I believe.
18?
Or 19. It might be 19.
He's 18 or 19. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/TJ, it'll have his entire bio, and that will include his date of birth.
And TJ's not actually getting meds. This is just dinner for him.
And why is he getting fed a different meal than the other cats?
He is one of our fussy cats, and so he only eats a little bit at a time, so we have to feed him a couple times a day. He did actually eat really well this morning. He ate 5 pounds for breakfast.
How about you?
Which is half his diet. So this is the other half to see if he'll get a whole diet today. You need that stick. You can't have the stick.
We feed the cats in the morning, but like she said, we have to come out again later in the day for some of these cats that are really fussy.
And he is getting a combination of turkey and pork. This is pork, and then he also has beef in there as well. He's been liking the turkey and the pork lately, so we're going to start with that.
Dima said just watching him is lowering their blood pressure.
He is a very relaxing cat, I have to admit. He is a very chill cat.
And I didn't catch the name, but somebody else was saying that he's very old for a cat, and you are correct. In the wild, they usually only live to be 10 or 12, and in a lot of other facilities, they only live to be 10 or 12. But here they live into their late teens and early 20s. Because they have wonderful keepers like KATHRYN.
Thank you. I know, I didn't realize the other day I happened to catch the Texas Tigers sign, and they're 21 now.
Can you believe that?
I cannot believe that.
It's like I was in denial. I wouldn't say 20 for the longest time, and now I'm saying 20, and you're telling me 21.
They just turned 21 this year. I was like,
Sheesh.
wow. You know, and TJ kind of looks like an old man, but those guys, they really don't look old at all. Are we done? A little bit more? A little bit more. Let's have a couple more bites. Couple more bites?
Sure.
There we go. Couple more bites. Chilling, having dinner with TJ.
This is TJ, and he's a tiger. We were just saying we think he's like 18 or so years old. If you go to bigcatrescue.org/TJ, it'll have his entire bio and his age. I was trying to get a better internet signal here, but it's not much better. TJ was rescued from a circus trainer who said that the way he would train the cats was chain them to the wall and beat them until they realized that they had no recourse, and then they would be considered broken enough to be able to use in his axe.
You're so close. You almost eat the whole bucket. Almost the whole bucket.
Alicia wants to know if he is on meds.
He is not. Well, he does get, when we can get him to eat it, he gets glucosamine and stuff like that. But right now, he's only on supplements. He's not on any kind of prescription meds, so to speak. We have had him on an appetite stimulant as well, just to try and get him to eat a little bit more for us. That was awesome! You ate the whole bucket. Good job, Teach. Good job. Good boy. That's a good boy.
Was that a burp?
That was a very not ladylike burp. It's very manly. Good job.
Drool.
He enjoyed that.
Is that good?
He's yums. Thanks, bud. Thanks, Teach.
Who's next?
Up, we are going to go find Mr. Saber.
Saber is a 25-year-old leopard, which makes him the oldest leopard in the world, maybe the oldest leopard ever. Everybody's like, oh my god,
that makes my
Saber!
Whole day. That makes my whole day. Good job, Teach. Good job, handsome. Okay. Head over to Mr. Saber.
So I know one of the questions people always ask is why are they in cages? And the reason is they were born in cages. And unfortunately, it's just not possible or legal to release them if they have been born and bred in captivity. I'm sorry, KATHRYN can't hear you through my headset that I'm wearing. I'm looking at her like, well, answer it, KATHRYN.
Awesome.
They want to know what kind of meds the cats are getting today.
Oh, so these are typically their PM meds. Saber is actually getting tramadol, just like Seth did. He, being 25, has arthritis, and so he has some pain issues. So he is getting pain meds for his arthritis. And he gets meds twice a day, AM and PM. Oh, he was laying back there.
Do we know what time Dr. Justin's coming today?
I thought Gail said he was coming around 4:30, but I haven't seen him yet.
So while she gets that ready, I'm going to go over to Saber. I see he's laying up against the side of the cage. We have 2 cats that are not doing well, so our vet will be coming by shortly to take a look at them. Nirvana is an ocelot that's in her 20s, and she's not eating well. And then Sassy is a caracal who's also in her 20s and not eating very well. He's so excited.
Sleeping away.
We had a question on YouTube about whether or not snakes are ever a problem, and it's usually a problem for the snakes because our cats are pretty good snake hunters.
They like snakes. They will go after a snake.
Diama, yes, we are in Tampa, Florida.
Good job.
Yeah, it's Florida.
Good
We've
job.
got all kinds of snakes, but most of the snakes are non-toxic, non-poisonous water snakes because we have a lot of water on the property, so they really love our lakes, and they look like water moccasins. So there's always kind of a fire drill whenever a cat has a snake to call out our snake experts to figure out if it's a water snake or a water moccasin. Water moccasin would be a really bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
Water snake is a lot of fun for the cat.
It's usually just a water snake or a black racer.
Yeah,
There's
lots of black racers. Is Jojo next?
Yes, he is.
We'll head up to Jojo. Jojo is a cross between a serval and a caracal, and that doesn't happen in the wild, even though they're both from Africa because they live in different regions. But unfortunately, in captivity, there are just ignorant people who will pay to see crossbreeds like ligers or zedonks, and so he was bred for that sort of novelty seeking populace. Hi! Kathryn's coming with your stuff. So you can see how he kind of looks like both parents. He is reddish brown like a caracal, but he's got the long legs of a serval and the big ears of a serval, but not the big tufts like you would see on a caracal. And his sound is very much a cross between the two. He really sounds like a hybrid of a serval and a caracal. Although he's been imitating servals lately more, I've been told.
Yeah, he's starting to imitate servals. Well, he's kind of surrounded by servals, so I think he's
The predominant
trying to
language
speak their
here.
language. He's trying to speak their language, I think.
And why is...
We're actually going to head over and do Ginger as well, now that she's over here. Hi, sweet girl.
Yeah, listen to you, Laszlo. The only part I understood were Los Gatos. Because we know cat in every language, don't we, Whoopi?
Much. Where's that oh, see, I thought I saw that come out.
This is Ginger. What's Ginger getting?
Ginger is getting a medication called Atopica, and it helps with skin issues. I need that down right there. I need that.
And just like your cats at home, a lot of times they don't have really good vision when it's up close like that. So if they drop something right at their feet, they can't see it for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get their nose right down on it again.
This is why we bring extra with us. I want that back. You're standing on it.
JEC, all of the people who do animal care here are volunteers. So like KATHRYN's paid job is she's our director of donor appreciation, but to work with the cats you have to be a volunteer. We don't pay anybody to do any of the animal care. So I'm thinking this is your day off.
This is my day off. This is my day off. And then I come in and I'm the volunteer coordinator for the day, which means I basically coordinate all the volunteers. So it's my day off, and I've been here since 6:30. But it's an awesome day off because this is when I get all my animal time in.
That's a really great question, especially with this cat she's looking at here. These guys can jump 12 feet straight up, so that's why these 12-foot high cages have roofs on them, as you can see. Yeah, because she would jump right out of here.
Oh, yeah. All right, Princess,
They
good job.
leap after birds, and so they have an amazing ability to get airborne.
Oof. Good girl. Now, Jojo, you were liking your new neighbor, aren't you?
This is our evening medications that she's handing out, so she puts it in the types of food that the cats like. Do you want to tell them what kind of food you are using?
Sure. So with Jojo, I used pieces of a chicken thigh. That's his favorite. And then with Ginger, I actually used ground turkey for hers because that's her favorite. And so we spend a lot of time figuring out what everybody's favorite is, and then they get theirs and their favorite. Jade and Armani are next.
Jade and Armani are the next cats, and they are leopards. And what are they going to get treated for?
So Jade has skin issues, and Armani just gets a treat because Jade's getting a treat.
That's how that works.
That's how that works.
I love that. Don't feed the trolls, just feed the cats. Yeah, we do attract a lot of detractors, and the reason for that is we are the most effective sanctuary in ending the abuse of these big cats. And so the people who make their living by pimping out the cubs for pay-to-play sessions, or people who get their egos stroked by, look at me, I have a big cat on a leash, those people hate us because we are putting an end to that kind of abuse. They have no platform of their own, so they come over here onto the dodo, or they try to get onto our platforms, but we ban them pretty quickly.
Hi! Where's Daddy? Where's Daddy? There she is.
This is Jade and Armani, so this is Armani right here in front of you. And KATHRYN is shutting the door between them so they don't fight over this.
I know. I'm so excited. I got a tiny little treat just because your sister's getting a treat.
Joanne's correct. They do have a little bit different facial spots, which makes it easy to tell them apart. If you look at Armani, her spots, she'll be still, her spots are very random. Whereas if you look at Jade, it looks like she has a little tiara of spots, like a V-shaped tiara. They come from all over the place. We've had cats come to us from as far as a circus in Peru to as close by as Florida. In fact, these guys came from Florida. Mostly the cats that end up in peril end up there because people will pay to have their picture made with a cub. And those cubs can only be used for a few weeks. And then the people who do that will just give the cats away to other people as pets, and nobody is prepared to have a lion or a tiger as a pet. That just never works out. And
Diablo is next. Taking my little containers.
and there's more tigers yet to come. Diablo, the Savannah cat, is next, but we can go over and watch Gabrielle while she does that because Diablo is not going to let me get close to him anyway.
And he'll be quick, and then we're going to try Hoover.
And then it'll be Hoover Tiger, so
Hoover.
I know Hoover's got his own fan club.
Oh, that cat has a huge fan club.
So that's Diablo over there, the little Savannah cat that she's going to do next. Hi, Gabrielle. The smallest of our enclosures is about 1,200 square feet, which is bigger than my house. And that's for like a bobcat or a serval. And then tigers have a minimum of 1,800 square feet. I think Gabrielle here has probably close to 3,000 square feet. And then all of our big cats, our lions and tigers, have access to a 2.5 acre vacation rotation enclosure. So they get a 2-week vacation out there where they can have the whole place along with ponds and dens and bushes, trees. They can have the whole place to themselves. And then right across from us here, if you see that big silver roofed cage over there, that's 22,000 square feet. And so our smaller cats like cougars and leopards and bobcats and servals, they get a 2-week vacation out there. This used to be a palm tree. This is what tigers do to palm trees. It makes a great chin scratcher, doesn't it? You headed to Hoover?
Yeah. I don't know how successful we're going to be on the platform. We'll give it a shot.
Hoover tiger was rescued from Peru, and he was the sole surviving tiger from a circus. They had 12 cats back when Peru banned circuses that used big cats. But they went on the road and hid the cats from the authorities, and by the time the authorities caught up with them, Hoover was the last one still alive. And he's got a lot of medical issues. I think he's 13, or going to be 13 next month.
Mm-hmm. Woo-hoo! Oh, no. Walk around over.
He's one of the pickiest eaters out here. He just doesn't like to eat. And the keepers offer him everything you can possibly imagine. And you can see he's like, well, that seems like it would be good. I'm licking my lips, but I'm too tired to go eat. Oh, go for it. Go for it. Yes. It's going to be worth it. The keepers are so patient with these guys. He's going to be 13 next month. He is.
Good job. Good job.
Amanda's asking, who is the youngest big cat?
Oh.
Is that Nabisco
Yeah,
or Mrs. Claus?
I
I think Nabisco.
Bisco's a little younger. Well, they might be about the same age. Yeah, that's kind of like a tie. Mrs. is pretty young, but Biscuit is also.
If you go to bigcatranscue.org/catbio, all of our cats' biographies are listed there, and you would be able to figure that out there. I think it's going to be Nabisco. He's a bobcat who was rescued last year. Mrs. Claus, we keep thinking that she's so young, but she was actually like 18 months old before we gave up on her being able to be
right.
rehabbed. She was just so
You're right.
tiny.
She was not a teeny tiny when we got her, so.
The only cats who can go back to the wild are the ones who were born in the wild. And in Mrs. Claus' case, she's a little bobcat who was born in the wild. But the reason she came to us was because something had bitten through her head, and apparently they did some brain damage there because she was just never right. And so she's not a candidate for release. She wouldn't be able to support herself. But we did try for 18 months.
Hoof hoof. You did pretty good.
Simply Kai wants to know if you always have to feed him on a stick.
Yes. Well, we do also use tongs sometimes, but it's either stick or tongs. And he doesn't really like the tongs because he tends to kind of bite down on the food pretty hard, and we don't like to try to use tongs because if he bites the tongs, that's going to hurt his teeth. It's more the cats that like to slurp food that we use the tongs with. So yes, but we have to use something because there's no way I'm handing him his food.
There you go. Foxy Queen wants to know if he has ever broken a stick.
Hoover, yes. Hoover likes to play with the sticks, and so sometimes when we go to give it to him, instead he'll smack at it, and he has snapped a stick by smacking at it. Oh yeah. He's really strong. He'll grab it sometimes. He'll try to actually bite hold of the stick and pull the stick in, and I mean, we'll give it to him if that's what he wants, but he doesn't want it once we're not hanging on to it anymore.
It's more fun with the person
It's more
attached.
fun with the person attached, yes. Once you give it to him, then he's like, oh, I didn't want this now. And once they realize it's not going to magically appear food on the stick, once they have the stick.
You can't save that wand for later.
Like, you can't just go over and it magically appears with food on the end of it. Once you steal it from me, you're done. Thanks for coming over.
UFO channel asked how old he is. He'll be 13 next month.
Oh, yes.
And
Can't believe he's been here a year.
one of the people here asked, are there any cats who will only eat for one keeper?
Not just for one keeper, but there are cats that will only eat from a handful of keepers, we'll say that. Hi, Gabrielle. And we really don't get to pick. They kind of pick for us which keeper they like to eat from.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. I so appreciate it.
Yeah? Do you need one? All right. Hoover didn't eat all of it. You can have one. You can have one.
Good night. Crunch, crunch.
That.
Sorry about that.
Crunchy crunchies.
Oh, good.
Crunchy crunchies.
Probably Lawana.